This is kind of a micro look at what's going on in a swath that it goes miles long, but this really shows you how intense the damage is here. You can see the big plume of smoke going on behind me. That's the front side of the fire, the part that's pushing over to Highway 50 as this thing continues to go. It looks more like a riverbed tonight. This is all coming out of that stream as well, surging up through the drainages and here onto Nevada. Big pond out there, and as you can see, there's no cars. They have shut down Nevada Avenue here.
Talking to residents, first responders. Let's continue our live team coverage with Bill, and this is an around-the-clock situation, correct?
Oh, that is right. There is still a lot going on. There are utility workers out tonight, still trying to get all that power back on. We've got aid workers providing food, also shelter to people. And you can see we've still got flashing lights. There is a lot of public safety going on. These guys are out here blocking roads. They're also patrolling, trying to protect those things that were scattered by the tornado. Mangled, ripped, uprooted. A demonstration in complete destruction by a massive tornado. And now in its wake, rain.
It's a bit frustrating, just picture-wise. I don't want the pictures to get all ruined, but
it makes everything 10 times worse. I mean, the rest of your recovery and then trying to get your stuff.
It is stuff. Unopened gallons of milk laying on the ground, stripped trees wrapped with sheets of metal, unusual sights including ducklings without a pond, instead in a mud puddle.
I don't know how to feel right now.
Piles of rubble with focused scavengers looking for anything to save. They mark where houses used to stand. People who lost homes in minutes now trying to make sense of the mess.
It's horrible. I mean, we were here, we showed up about 10 minutes after everything and just didn't know what to do. We're still kind of lost.
Neighborhoods now in a world of wreckage, patrolled with helicopters overhead and military support on the ground. Utility crews work around the clock to restore service. Car after wrecked car shows the mark of a check by search and rescue workers. A similar mark is on damaged buildings. Yet search crews return and check again. A reminder to some of how close their family came to tragedy.
this was where my son's room was.
So much gone so quickly. There is frustration and questions about the future.
We'll rotate between family members, but we'll be taken care of, and eventually we'll have this cleared up and hopefully have it rebuilt and start our new life again.
And we saw lots of people out this morning going through the rubble of their homes, but this afternoon we could see why the security is still keeping an eye on things. The people who own this shop, well, the owner himself had been in the hospital. We saw him come with stitches in the back of his head. He had a cracked sternum. Was told he shouldn't be here, but he was anxious to come out and see what he could get. There are people in the hospital, people who just aren't able to get out and go through their property, and they'd like to be there, but they can't, and so they've got to keep an eye on this. So each day you just see these little elements of what it's going to take. It is going to take a long time to get through this recovery. Bill Folsom, News 5.
News 5's Bill Folsom. Bill, what can you tell us?
Well, we wanted to come back to you just to show you how fast this is igniting. That's the area you were looking at just a few minutes ago with that smoke, and suddenly you're just seeing these huge flames going several stories. I mean, we are 5 miles from that, and it is very clear that those are very large flames going up, and you know, there's no way that they can stop flames that big. So just wanted to give you a visual of the situation. The smoke tells the story, but when you see those flames pop through that massive smoke, you know how dry it is, how fast those flames are taking off. We're looking at trees that were not on fire 2 minutes ago, and they are engulfed in just a moment. Yeah, we're going to give you a closer look here. One thing I want to point out, we've been talking about everything coming off the burn scar. This is Cheyenne Creek, which comes out of Cheyenne Mountain, and it is not coming off the burn scar. But let me add some light here just to give you a look at it. We've got all this garbage floating around on the bottom. That's where it's about to breach and wash out. This is motorway we're looking at between Tejon and Nevada, and you can see it's hitting the bottom of the bridge there, really threatening, and at times splashing over onto the top of that. Just above here, there's an apartment building where that creek runs behind, and it has been evacuated. I want to give you another look here down at Motorway, where we've got the lights there to light it up. You can see that that is a lake. They've got it closed off. We talked to an officer, says you go out in that and it's about up to your shin. And if we continue to rotate around here, it's a little difficult to see. But if you look down across the way there, you can see it splashing up against the on-off ramp road and the bridge down there. It keeps surging up and keeps threatening to go over that. That's why here at Nevada Avenue, southbound, they have shut it down. There's water going out onto there. It is a big lake out there. They don't want anybody going through it. One more look for you. You can see it coming down Nevada Avenue here. And if you look over here, That is the drain where water is supposed to be going down. Instead, because of all the water that's happening here on the south side of town, that is pushing out of the drainage system and creating big problems here on Nevada Avenue. So southbound Nevada Avenue right now is closed between Las Vegas and Brookside. People need to be aware of that. We've got a lot of water coming, and they're concerned that it's going to breach the banks and create even a bigger issue here. There's an apartment building again up there. They brought in a city bus and moved those people out of there just to get them to safety, where the creek was going right behind their apartment building. This storm is happening all over the city. It is threatening and creating dangerous situations at multiple waterways. Again, this is not coming off the burn scar. This just has to do with the amount of water that is coming down right now. Back to you. You know, we're definitely seeing an evolution as things happen out here in the destruction zone, as we call it. First day we saw emergency response, and the second day it was people just dealing with all the shock and trying to salvage what they can. Today we're seeing a huge spike in volunteers, people just coming to show support and also to expedite the recovery. Not everyone gets to drive the emergency vehicles, and only a few put on a uniform to direct traffic.
Water?
Many don't even have an assignment, but after the tornado in Moore, Oklahoma, many, at their own time and expense, just assign themselves. What are you guys out doing here?
We're just trying to get some water and take it to the safe area where the disaster hit.
This is typical what people do in Oklahoma when you see this?
Yeah. Well, like, people always have to help each other.
Some with trucks full of relief, others with just what they can carry.
We all need to do what we can do, and if I need to stand out here on a corner and pass out water for 12 hours, I'm going to pass that water for 12 hours.
Here I sit 15 miles away, and my life's pretty much, for the most part, completely unchanged.
The tornado misses them, but wipes out neighbors, people who can't sit idly while others suffer. Even if it's simply with gloves and a garbage bag, they're compelled to action.
I just came to help out.
A group from church.
Anybody need any water?
A lady standing in the street. Two guys with their truck loaded. Or one young woman who learned on Facebook about a plan to clean up the mess left by the tornado at the local cemetery. She joined a crowd of hundreds who also acted on the idea. Have you felt the need to be out here doing something?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And why is that?
Oh, well, you're from Oklahoma. When something tragic happens like this, you just kind of, everybody comes together.
A monumental show of community with a no job's too small attitude.
If I need to put on a pair of gloves, I'll put on a pair of gloves and just continue to help.
And we've seen a lot of those gloves today. There have been people over there actually on the piles, but it's interesting, this field behind here, people just show up, they haven't been asked, they have some rakes, they've been going across. It's a good couple of acres, and they've been working it all day, just raking away, getting rid of any of the debris that's flown in here. Good people doing good things down here.